You went
Okay.
soul searching, you
Soul
came back,
searching.
decided no, I was on the right path.
If your design could talk, what would they say about you?
Customer centricity, yeah. They could say I'm very customer centric. I thank Pinterest for being free, yeah. Be free.
I'm actually shocked.
So was I. In a happy way.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of KYAD, Know Your Architect/Designer. Today is a very interesting episode, I would say. We have a very special guest on the couch today. We have Smita, who is the principal architect and design head of this beautiful firm called reNNovate. And I think we're going to know a lot today. I think she's going to spill a lot of tea, that's for sure. But on the spotlight. How are you feeling today?
Very nice. Thank you for having me here.
What's in your mind right now?
Nothing. I'm loving your showroom, yeah. Good job. I think I'm surprised it's so huge.
Amazing. Okay, I know you don't like talking about branding and all, but to give an audience an overview, we really want to know who you are and how did this journey start?
Hi guys, I'm Smita Contractor and I'm the design head at reNNovate Interiors. Okay, so how did this journey start? So way back when I was probably in 8th or so, and you sort of think about what to do in life.
Yeah.
I realized that one of my skills was actually doing home interiors, and that's a very strange story. So my father was in the government,
Okay.
and we used to get transferred every 2-3 years.
Oh.
And every time we went to a new house, you had to make it your home, right?
Yeah.
And we had our stuff, and every house would just be, 4 walls.
Yeah.
And the government gives every officer of a certain rank a certain budget to redo the interiors. So when they
Right.
move. And we used to use that so specifically to make that house a home. And
Okay.
that is where the journey started. I remember I was a bright student and my parents felt that I should go for IIT. And I
Yeah.
got into the coaching also.
Oh.
And I just couldn't see myself doing that. So I was good at maths, I was very good at chemistry.
Okay.
But that I just couldn't see myself sitting and doing that every day. It was like, this I can't do.
Okay.
And so even though my parents were very upset, I gave only one entrance exam, which was
Okay.
School of Planning and Architecture in Delhi.
Okay.
I did not even know any other college. That is how bad my research was.
Okay.
Because we were posted in Shimla and there was no internet at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this one student of my mother's who was an architect from this college. And I said, okay, I'm going to prep for this. And I gave the exam and I got in.
Oh, wow.
And I remember before that, I had done very well in my board exams. And I was already studying in St. Stephen's College doing maths. And my
Okay.
father said, I'm not taking out the school fees. You continue here. I said, no, you take it out. I'm joining from tomorrow at
Okay.
SPA. And that's how it all started.
Oh,
So that's
amazing.
the story of becoming an architect.
Very sweet journey. But I'm for sure when you told your parents that this is the profession you're getting into, it was a straight no.
No, it wasn't a no. Nobody in my family is an architect.
I was just going to ask that.
Everyone is actually into civil services.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so everyone moves around the country. Everyone was into more of a management and, administrative type of job. And everyone felt I was the perfect candidate for it.
Oh, wow.
So, and I was the eldest of all the grandchildren. And I was like, why would you think of anything else? This is perfect.
Carry
You've
forward
been
that
doing
legacy.
this for generations. Everyone's happy. So I just didn't feel that it was my calling. And yes, that was surprising. And even till date, I have a lot of conversations with my dad of what if? And
Yeah.
he's like, you should have. And I'm like, no, I'm really happy even now. So after all these years, it's still going good and I've made a good choice.
Yeah, you did. Take us a bit through your journey. How did you get into this profession? How was the job like? Did you have any work experience before becoming an architect?
Right. So after I finished my bachelor's at School of Planning and Architecture, I did work in Delhi for a while.
Okay.
And then I got in to do my master's in Chicago. So this was University of Illinois Chicago, IIT Chicago.
Okay.
And that is a very famous school because a very famous architect called Mies van der Rohe has made it. And he came from Germany, and he came with the Bauhaus movement and extreme minimalism, modernist. And the beauty of it is not just the aesthetics, right? It was that he married function into the form. Form follows function, and less is more. That is, if you remove all the, the cornices and the columns, what you see inside, the functionality of the space is beautiful enough. That's what less is more is all about. And I think that had a huge impact on me, and I think that has a huge impact on the way reNNovate was also formed. So yeah, I worked in Delhi, then I went for my master's, and I went on a assistantship, a scholarship.
Oh, wow.
And the interesting thing is, my father again did not want me to go to the US also. So he said, no, you have to fund everything yourself. And at that time, there was a very nice scholarship called the Narottam Sheikh Scholarship. It's by Ambuja, guys.
Okay.
And I got that. I'm the only architect to get that till date.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
and I went to the US to study. And with the scholarship and the assistantship, I also managed to get what is called a CPT, so which means a job while doing your master's. And I got it at a very famous company called Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, SOM. So they are the guys who have made Burj. They're the guys who have made the tallest towers.
Oh my God.
Mumbai Airport.
Oh my God.
So I was working there. That was my work ex. I think that work ex was also very nice because, working abroad, you see how organized things are. People actually care about work-life balance while not compromising on the work, okay? Their projects were happening on time. They were super organized. Their clients were happy. They were making the billing cycles very easily. Okay. And they were able to hire and train people also very effectively. So these are interesting things which were not happening when I was in India. And when I went abroad, it was a big eye-opener. I just loved their, they were so organized, so systematic, so process-driven. I think it's something we can learn a lot from. Then I decided after working there for a while that, I want to start my own practice. And decided to come back to India. And decided to come back to Bombay. So since my dad was in the government, I didn't have any roots in any particular place, but I felt Bombay was a very interesting place because at that time there was a study by TechCrunch which said that, if you want to have a great interiors business, it should be in Bombay because after fintech and financial services and banking, that's the one that makes the most money. Yeah, so it's just backed by a lot of strategic thinking on which city to come back to. And we came back to Bombay, and since I had absolutely no roots here, started working with Hafiz Contractor. Yes, the Hafiz Contractor. And worked on very nice projects here as well. And then it so happened that, I got married, I had a child. And during that process, I realized that it is actually very hard to hold on to a full job. So I took a break, I remember at the time, but I'm a very passionate person. I was not going to let it go so easily. So much planning and strategy was already in the boat. So there was a very interesting thing that came up at that time, which was by Homelane. They were recruiting moms. Specifically, it was a campaign for that. And I remember I got recruited, and very soon they obviously realized that I'm not just going to be an interior designer. I became design head of Mumbai at Homelane. And I was doing a lot of projects. And I think that was a very, very big eye-opener because I had a lot of knowledge about, architecture and drawings, but the business of it, I must say, was very disruptive in its thought at Homelane at that time. And I think the way they were approaching organizing interiors as a product to a customer was phenomenal. So I think that was a big eye-opener, and I was very interested in that. It so happened that, you know how it is sometimes in life, lot of things just start, you know, blooming, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, this also happens and
Yeah.
that also happens. So it was a moment like that.
Okay.
I remember Asian Paints was coming up with, they were looking for a collab.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think Homelane was not going for it at that
Okay.
time. And we had already started to think of reNNovate. And I remember at that time, it just clicked.
This is back when we're talking about?
This is around 2014.
Okay.
And it just clicked at that time.
Mm.
And we launched reNNovate with Asian Paints.
Okay.
And after that, there was just no looking back, because even Asian Paints was looking for a team that was very customer centric. And I think our whole journey from that day to till today has been about creating this product. So it's coming from all the me's and the less is more and the functionality, and then marrying it with, you know, all of the productization of design to a customer, and creating that experience, the product and the experience of design to the customer. So it's design, but with a lot of X factor and masala. So that's the journey.
That's actually such an amazing way to summarize your entire journey. But I guess we are waiting to get to the tea. So that was about your journey. Okay. But actually, how is it behind the scenes of an architect or an interior designer's journey? Like, is it all page 3 worthy, or what is it?
See, it's not like that. I think what's happened is that the architecture and interior design profession for a long time, and this is, I think, going back to Fountainhead and all those, you know, the glam books and everything around it. See, what happened earlier, people used to be, the rich people were a very small set.
Yes.
Okay. And they used to network with each other. You know, one of them would have a printing press, one of them would be an architect, a doctor, and they used to be a small, and this is 200 years ago, where the number of rich people were not that many.
Correct.
So it made sense to, you know, go to parties and, like you were saying, you know, talk behind the scenes and network and all of that. But, you know, over time in the past 200 years, I think the quantum of customers who have the buying capability for interiors has increased. I think aspirations have increased. So you would find people who have bought a 2 crore house also going to an interior designer, and a person who has bought a 200 crore house also going to an interior designer. And obviously their budgets would range from 20 lakhs to 20 crores. But unfortunately, I feel, this is my perception, that a lot of designers only aspire towards interiors that are 2 to 20 crores, which frankly are very few. The quantum is not there. The quantum is over here between 20 lakhs and 2 crores.
Right.
And that, I think, is something that is a market that even Livespace and Homelane is not able to fill, because their target value is actually 0 to 10.
Right.
So there's this big gap in the market, which I think because of I think it's just a legacy or history of how people used to do get projects from a very small set of people, and the way that marketing happened. I think the landscape has changed so much that this target group is just left open.
So what is your current thoughts about how the fraternity is working?
So see, how the fraternity is working is, you know, through traditional PR and through, you know, magazines and things. But, you know, I'll ask you, when I walked into the showroom, how did you find us?
I found it amazing.
How did you find us in the first place?
I found it through social media.
Yes, right. So what's happened is that on social media, everybody is looking for, you know, their interior designer or the architect on Google or on Instagram or on YouTube. Okay, I till date, we quiz customers who come to us and we ask them, how did you find us? Okay. Nobody till date has ever said, I thought of doing interiors, so I went to a magazine stand.
Okay.
Then I picked up those fat magazines over there. I opened them, went through the architects, and then specifically I went to the awards page of this very leading newspaper, and I looked at the architects and I took a photo, and then I went to their office. It has never happened 0 times. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other question that you asked me, that why are you guys not on these things?
Yeah.
For this reason, I have never met this customer who does this. So we are not there. We are B2C, and that's traditional, and we are doing something different.
Then why do you think people are doing this kind of strategy?
I think it's more because that's the way we were taught in college.
Okay.
And I think landscapes are changing fast, and I think you need to adapt.
Okay.
Yeah, and coming from a background where I don't have roots, the fact that I was looking for those roots is the reason why I am on this path. Other people are in their hometown or home space. They already have their friends and family. They are able to tap into that. But I don't. So I'm on the path that is the less known path.
So taking back what you said that was the traditional and that was taught in college, right? And you have studied abroad and you came back to Bombay. How is that difference in culture and the way they work and the way we work in India?
That's a very important question. Okay. So abroad, there are 2 types of players. Okay. One is the player who gives you a standard surface. So supposing I bought a house there, I would get a same quality kitchen, consistent, all the drawers would be consistent, every shutter would be perfect, granites would be perfect, I would have, furniture that opens and shuts properly. There's a standardization.
Right.
No one is below that standard. No one. Okay. Everyone would be above that standard, would be people like you'd see a lot of celebrities, they would be going for what is handcrafted. So there's the difference is basically between your regular watch and a Rolex. Okay. So when it's handcrafted, somebody is making some one unique piece, and it's not handcrafted the whole house. It would be this mantle piece or this particular thing is handcrafted. The problem in India is that we don't have that base of standardization. So that handcrafted is not looking unique and amazing. Everything is handcrafted at some level, and the quality is ranging all over the place. So what's happening is the customer saying, see boss, you are handcrafting, but I need at least a baseline quality, and someone needs to give it to me. Now think of the customer. Who is this guy? This guy is a banker, an investment banker, a person in financial services, a person in tech. He's a general manager, CEO, CXO, somebody. He has traveled everywhere. He has lived in the best places. He has friends in the best places, and he's seen their houses, right? He comes back to Bombay, which is our financial capital, and he wants to get something at least of that quality and better. Now, he scours the market for somebody in this space, and everybody is talking about handcrafted this, handcrafted that. But where is the baseline? There is no baseline. Okay. Now, obviously, this person is not, his funds are there, but they're not flowing funds. So he's rich, but he is not in the 100 crore, 200 crore range. Okay. So he's a guy who has maybe 20 crores, which is rich by all standards. He's a millionaire, even in USD. Okay. And this guy can't find an interior designer who is willing to give him a good quality home, which has a product quality to everything he is doing. At the end of it, that person is standing there giving warranty for that quality. And it's not all about money. It's also a design product. When his friends come into the house, they're like, wow, who made this house? And he gives referrals. Okay. Now, the beauty of this is we get customers of this exact what's called target group.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And our TG, you will see our reviews. They actually personally write our reviews, and we have 5-star reviews, more than 90 or something. And each of those people you'll find are actually in very high corporate jobs. And their pain point is this. They bought a house which is already very expensive, and they go through their process or whatever. And then when they went into the market to find an interior designer, they find a person who gives design, but not the product. They find a contractor who gives the product, but no design. And in between, the other designers, they do not give warranty. They're not clear on the cost. They'll say, okay, we'll start the design, but costing, not so sure. It might be here, it might be there. So that guy, he is in IT. He's buying phones that are expensive. He's buying products that are expensive. And when you buy a product, you want to know this is the product, these are the features, and this is the add-ons that you can do, and this is what it will cost you. He says yes, no, you move forward, right? Now that's a very simple thing. Definitely interiors, there's a lot of customization, right? But still he wants a price point at the end of it, and he wants to know what he's paying for is worth his while. It's not like he has that much spare money, okay? Now that organized approach to him, surprisingly, is missing. And that's where we come in. So we do almost, you won't believe it, 30 to 50 projects a year. Have you seen a year? Okay?
Oh my God.
Our portfolio would be only of the past 3 years, and it would be some 500 pages coming out. And we work only in Bombay. We don't even step out of the island.
In Bombay?
Only Bombay. We do not step out of the island. So that's the amount of demand, and the supply, even I was surprised, is not there. Because I told you that the online players are in the lesser segment, and the aspiration of many architects is on the highest segment, and it's actually the mid segment that has the most number of people, most buying capacity, least service.
Oh,
Doesn't make sense.
I'm actually shocked.
So was I, in a happy way.
Yeah. So 30 to 40 projects in a year.
In a year. And these are not part interiors. These are full homes. We literally reject people who say, hame ek room banana hai.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We only take up full homes where the customer is not staying, where they agree to the price before we start.
Oh.
Then only we start. And even in that, we are a bit picky.
Oh, is it?
So it's not a problem of we don't have, and you won't be, in fact, our social media is growing every day, and we are putting out projects every day, and we have our own teams for site and factory, and you can only keep these teams engaged if you have that much turnover, and we do.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Question to you. How did you filter all this to create your niche? Because I feel like, speaking to various architects and interior designers, I think the maximum projects they can do in a year or so would be 4 to 5.
Thank you for saying that. I'm so happy to just hear it.
So how do you justify and how do you filter out all that?
So, like I said, and this was a good point that you were also referring to. It's about the way we are going to market. The traditional way of going to market, like I said, was through newsprint and print media and things, which people are not consuming. So I think the lag in the industry on how to do marketing is there, which is good, because I think that's when our sun is shining. And we are not that, and therefore we are getting a lot of traction, and I have a lot of followers and a lot of projects, and we keep shooting the projects, and we actually mindfully shoot projects that are in the 15 to 20 lakh budget, and we actually put them out there. We also shoot projects that are in the 1 to 2 crore budget and put it out there. So we are very mindful to do both. We are also very mindful to shoot the full room, because you'll find that a lot of traditional media will say, I want a straight angle, it should not curve, and the customer can't understand if the picture just has this much and there's just a side wall and the headboard. What does he understand from that picture? And I am not targeting other designers. So I would like to show the full room, which as per a lot of design and camera standards is apparently not something that someone should do. But that works for me. So it's cool. So we've challenged all the norms, and I think that's what's working.
Yeah, I mean, you are challenging norms. But since you mentioned about digital presence, social media and all that stuff, has there been any point in your life where you feel like pressurized that, okay, someone is doing like this to put out their project, someone is doing like this on social media to get more attraction? Do you feel that peer pressure, or do you get influenced, or you're like, no?
No, we actually follow all the people we think are doing stuff worth doing. And we keep an eye on it, because actually sometimes there are trends out there that you have missed, or you weren't tracking, and someone else has got it. And I think we track, and we actively also show our customers that this is the trend. Look, these are the new products that are coming, and the trend is because this new product has come, so this kind of fluted look is happening, or so this kind of color pop is happening. Go with it. And a lot of people are happy that we are doing that research. It's actually telling the customer this is in fashion. Many customers want to be fashionable.
But when it comes to reNnovate's perspective, I know there are various architects and interior designers in the market, and you know how the industry goes and all. Do you, as an individual person, being an architect who's well versed and all, get carried away that, okay, this person is doing so and so great work, this person is putting out this kind of project, am I missing, am I lacking behind anywhere?
No, actually, we have the pleasure of having so many projects that if I start out by pastels, I can go into a lot of fluted. I can also in that same month do color pops. Whatever I feel like doing, I can totally get it done in that same month. So we can have a season with everything. If I see this is trending, great, let's do that. I see this is trending. But it's not all about us. So that is also another place where we are different. It's also about a customer. Ultimately, they pay. So when a customer comes to us, they first get the budget with the design. Okay. And so this is what we call it, that it is design, but with empathy towards the customer. Because supposing I want to pay 1 crore on my house. Okay. I don't consider myself poor for paying 1 crore on my house, okay? And I go on expensive vacations, and I am a corporate leader. And this person who is my designer is telling me that people are paying much, much more on my house. So can I know the breakdown of this, right? So now this customer is looking at a cost. And in that, say, for example, like tiles, they're saying, oh, should I go for marble or should I go for tile, right? So all of that discussion has already happened before we start the project, which means all of the images that they have in their mind, all the looks they have in their mind has also got incorporated. And therefore, they are now very cognizant whether the look and the price is worth spending. Then they decide yes, no, whatever, and they go forward. That customer who has that sort of spending capacity actually wants to know the breakdown of where all his or her funds are going. And we have our own proprietary software with which a designer within minutes can give a very detailed quotation, almost up to 20 pages of each room. Every material is already pre-planned, and all they have to do is enter it, so that every customer sees, oh, okay, in my master bedroom, these are the things that are going in my living room, these are the things that are going in, and this is the cost. So then what happens, they're able to isolate, okay, you know what, I'm thinking about tile, but I'm happy to go in for marble, and just this much changes. So what happens is that and this is coming back to your question of how can you hold on to trends and designs. It's actually coming from the spending capacity of the customer. So we may tell the customer, these are the trends, but they have to be able to pay for it. And they must find value to pay for it. And when they do, we do show them in those what we call palettes. So if they have that per square foot palette, we show them that. If they have a different per square foot palette, we show them that. We're very respectful. We don't show, and this is one of the things you'll see on our reviews from the customer, we don't show them things that are out of their budget, make them feel terrible about themselves and their spending capacity, and then their house shows up like something else because there was no budget. That never happens. Even in the most minimalistic budget, we will assure the customer of a great design, because we do know where to make the tweaks. Yeah.
Nice. You're mentioning about pricing.
Yeah.
I feel like this is such an exploited category when it comes to budgets and all. For example, you're the architect and the customer wants so and so house to be done under this budget.
Yeah.
But he's also checking out for other architects who could give him the best. Do you think price is an exploitation when it comes to?
No, it's a black hole. Other people don't give the prices; they give a
Okay.
per square foot price. The customer wants to know where is that per square foot price going, and we are amongst the few people who are doing this. So actually, I'm sure, and we often joke internally that they're taking our quotations and actually asking other people to fill in the thing. And it's not an
Oh.
Excel sheet. It's a
Okay.
very, very nice booklet of the warranties, of the exact quality of product, of the finishing, of the post installation warranty, and of the product itself. Super detailed. And I think most of our reviews, in fact, applaud it because it's something that is totally missing. So even when we hire people, I would ask them, what's the type of project, how much have you worked on costing?
Yeah.
Blank. So we have internal trainings for all people who join us. We train them into this new way of thinking. We train them onto costing. We train them onto customer interface because every single person who joins our office is running a project. So it's not that they're just doing bathroom details and
Okay.
something irrelevant. There's no irrelevancy in
Okay.
the HR part. So like I was telling you earlier, we are very organized. This is coming from the processes
Yeah.
that I learned abroad. We actually will start work at 9:30 and finish at 7. And the quantum of work we have, and we are not behind. We are actually, so we finish design in 2 to 3 weeks. That is
Okay.
super fast.
Yeah,
And then we
that is-
finish a project in 1.5 months or 2 months. And a large project that would be, say, a 10 BHK, we would finish in 6 months. That's the outer limit. I would not do a project for 1 year. It makes no money. Just
my
wasting
God.
time.
How do you implement these practices?
That's the secret sauce.
She's not gonna reveal it yet.
No, I'll tell you, it's a simple thing. This was coming back to the earlier point of standardization of quality. Okay, we don't go below a certain quality of materials. So we would only use, say, German fittings, or we would use only quality paints or some branded lights.
Right.
Everything has a certain quality. We don't touch the quality, whether it's a 10 lakh customer or a 2 crore customer. Okay. Within that, there are a lot of design elements that can be added, like
Yeah,
layers.
right.
Okay, that's where the project price goes up or goes down.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the play which we explain to every customer as well, and they are happy to go through that process. All right. Again, coming back to the team building part, this is exactly what we do in training, because this is not what is taught to us either in interior design or in architecture.
Right.
Okay, so we teach them how to play with design plus cost, because it is design plus cost. You cannot ignore the other, because I'll tell you, we have so many people who have this deep frustration. I went to XYZ designer, they showed me this great design, then they gave me this crazy price, and now I have stopped them and I have stopped the project, and I'm so happy I'm continuing with you. Or I went to this designer or architect or whatever, and they were unable to give me even a layout unless I sign up with them.
Oh.
And therefore, I don't even know what design I'm going to get, and I don't know what price I'm going to get. And here I have a 6 BHK house, and they don't want to talk to me till I give them a retainer.
What?
Which makes sense.
Okay.
Because who's going to waste time, right? And why do you think of it as a waste of time? Because it takes time. And why does it take time? Because your processes have not used tech yet. So if you start getting out of your regular CADs and your regular Excels into other techs that are available, then only you can speed up the process. And that's how we are able to finish design through 3D. We don't use CAD in those 3 weeks.
You don't?
We don't. We don't use CAD. CAD is on the last week.
Oh my
Just
God.
for factory drawings.
Okay.
All 3D. It's all free 3D. And the customer knows this is the room, this is what it looks like. Yes. And the end, the room looks exactly like that, because we know the price. We know he wants to pay for it. He knows he's got the right product and he can pay for it. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that alignment is super important. Otherwise,
Right.
he'll come to site and say, "Arey, it's not looking nice. I didn't understand it in CAD." Obviously, you
Exactly,
didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, no one can understand CAD.
Exactly. Why do you think there's such a miss in terms of being organized and having this laid back attitude?
No, this is because I'll tell you, we are yet to open up our processes. Even the way our market is segmented. Okay, you don't
Right.
find this in other countries where there are so many small players and no perceived large brands. Where are the large conglomerates in design? Where you can go to and say, मेरा घर 100% हो जाएगा इसके पास. Little expensive, but I'll definitely get it done.
Yeah.
Where are those people? They're hardly there, hardly there, and especially not in the high-end market. They are coming in the lower market, and you
Yeah.
know there are lots. But in the high-end market, designer market, customized market, where are they? Where are the big brands? Who are they? I don't know. Even I don't know, and I'm in the space for so many years.
Yeah.
So we need that. I think the organization comes from bottom up. We need to start having less people with fewer projects and large people with more projects. That attracts customers and keeps the ball rolling.
Right.
Those large products will have good processes where, you know, even the stream of people who are coming out, graduates, will join, get well trained, and
Right.
create more such products. And that's the way to organize the market. But I think that is yet to happen, yeah, in India.
Is it?
It's needed, but it's yet to happen.
You mentioned about training, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've always got good feedback from colleges and the teachings and all that
Yeah.
stuff. As a architect or an interior designer in the college, do you actually learn or get that hands-on experience that pushes you?
See, I used to teach at JJ, so
Okay.
I'm a little biased on this.
Okay.
I used to also teach at what is called Balwant Sheth School of Architecture. Both are in Bombay. See, the quality of students is good. Okay. But the thing is, our field is very vast.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm only talking to you about home segment.
Right.
There are many other segments
Yeah.
also. So there's a lot of work that is to be done. I think what you're learning in college is required. In fact, I feel nowadays, because of COVID and online learning,
Yeah.
you know, I feel, oh my God, these guys don't even know what we were taught. You know, it's like less only. So
Right.
that shouldn't change. Please
Okay.
go with that. But I think after that, and this may be also a surprise. So when you go abroad to any other country and you want to become an architect who practices,
Yeah.
you have to have 8 years after you graduate of certain kinds of training. Okay, and you
Okay.
have to fill that in, and you have to put in a certain number of hours. So it takes you 8 years after you graduate to in
Oh.
fact have your first project.
What?
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
And I actually feel when I was in the US, I thought it was super unfair. But now that I'm a business owner, I actually feel it's correct because there are things you learn in college and there are things on top of that you have to learn in the real world.
Right.
And cost is one of them. Materials, knowledge of materials is another. Customer handling, client handling, marketing, PR, you know, your own personal brand. Every person is their own personal brand, and the customer puts their money on that person. Oh, this person seems like a good architect, or
Right.
a person seems like a competent doctor.
Yeah.
You want a great person,
Yeah.
right? So personal branding is also a very important part of it. Of course, if you go into other specializations, those are also there. It's
Yeah.
required. This much of training after college is needed. College is just your basic skill set.
So you trained in 8 years.
That's
My
the standard.
God.
And
I've
people
heard-
take longer because they have life in between,
Longer?
right? Yeah, you get married, you have kids, you took a break, you got bored, architecture is not for you, you went soul searching, you came
Soul
back,
searching.
decided, no, I was on the right path.
No, actually heard so many people say that, okay, we graduated, we finished college, and then we just instantly got our first project.
That's India, no?
Okay.
That's part of the problem.
So that's not how it works.
It is how it works. It's not how it should work if you want to get into an organized environment.
Oh.
So we should get into more corporate environments. I think it's good for the customers. They are themselves in corporate environments.
Right.
They're looking for a corporate player. They're looking for an organized player. They're looking for a brand player.
Yeah.
In fact, it would be great if, you know, a whole bunch of like-minded, you know, brand-oriented architects got together and made a conglomerate team. I think that would be great, and it would really shape how interior design is moving forward, because the aspiration is there.
Yeah.
people want great houses.
Exactly.
And I think the buying capacity is also there.
Mm.
Just that the demand is not being fed by good quality supply.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my take on it.
Cool. That was truly an eye opener to me. I think it'll be an eye opener for a lot of people.
I hope not. Keep your eyes shut.
But I want to talk about a very interesting part of this industry. I think a lot of architects and interior designers, not going to name anybody, but they're more into the social life. And when I mean social, events, exhibitions, back-to-back award ceremony. But
Yeah.
you're not there. Why?
See, we are very clear. We are B2C,
Yeah.
business to customer.
Right.
Customers are not there at these events.
Yeah.
So we are not there at these events. If
Okay.
I ever become B2B,
Yeah.
I will be there at these events.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
Hmm.
So if your target audience should be someone you are constantly sending your message to.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be a waste of time, effort, organization, money, all the things that go into the marketing and the feeding of it.
Right.
Yeah, it should be focused. See, we don't have so much money that we can, keep spending money and it's not going to an end purpose. So we are that way very focused, and you'll see we have almost 38K followers
Yeah.
on Insta. We have a very good follower number even on YouTube. We have awesome website traffic, and we get direct calls from customers, probably 10-15 a day. So that's
wow.
awesome, and we are able to filter that into a fabulous pre-sales funnel, what they call.
Yeah. So you mentioned B2C,
Yeah.
right? Why has this industry become B2B and not B2C?
No, I don't think it's B2B. I think people are still interested in being B2C. I think that's how architects are. But I think a lot of times, like Ace Tech, for instance, is a classic case of B2B, right?
Yeah.
So you're going there, they're vendors, you see them, and that makes sense. So you're basically making your palette bigger and getting understanding of the various materials. But all the other things are, maybe it's just getting together with friends, because it's not a marketing effort for sure. I don't think it reaches an end customer. Like I was telling you earlier, I have never met a customer who came and said that, you know what, in such and such newspaper, I saw the awards and then I took your photograph and then I figured out where you were.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens. I don't think people are even looking at awards. In fact, I'll tell you, a lot of customers have become very savvy these days, because this
Yeah.
awards thing and being on various lists has become a very commercial activity in other fields as well.
Yeah.
So customers are very aware. So when they, in fact, they have a and very shrewd customers, especially Bombay customers who are in the financial services, they actually make a calculation, okay? And I've seen this happen. They're very clever. They will come and ask you, how many projects do you have currently?
Okay.
How many projects do you have in a year? So what are they calculating? Your full revenue and your monthly revenue, right? Then they'll say, oh, okay, so this person, when they research, has gone into XYZ number of awards and whatever. They literally will calculate how much extra you're spending. And they are clever enough to know that obviously you're not a bank, you're not generating the money.
Yeah.
You're going to charge it to them.
Of course.
Correct? So they start doing a very different kind of mapping. So I'll tell you, as an architect or a business, one is your image as a designer, what kind of creative aspect you have. One is your image as a business. Is this person running a sane, profitable business, or is this an amazing opportunity for me to rip them off, because they are completely out of control. Their marketing is out of control. Their strategies are out of control. Awesome, I'm going to get a free project.
Yeah.
So why are we giving them that opportunity? Let's just get our business act also as prim and proper as our other visuals.
Right.
Yeah, it's a whole package.
Hmm.
So we are very mindful,
Okay.
because we are not at all following the traditional path, but it's there. Like I've seen this happening in the eyes of the customer with these questions. They seem like such, regular questions. They're literally number crunching at the back of it.
Do you think clients are very knowledgeable in today's world?
They're not knowledgeable, but they really try to do the research, because there is a fear that is in the market, which I think is very unfortunate, because I think we spend a lot of time in educating them, I swear that is a waste of time.
Okay.
Because if I have to tell a person, build the trust, then educate them about every product, and then it's
Yeah.
coming from a fearful place, I think that as a larger industry we need to address, because it needs to go away.
Okay.
While people are fearful of doctors and accountants, I don't think it's as much as of an interior designer, architect, overpricing, marking up, giving bad quality or whatever.
Yeah.
I think we need to get rid of it. Things are
Okay.
changing. I think there are a lot of honest people out there, and I think we need to actually get together and start improving the messaging out there. And clean businesses are totally possible, yeah, in today's day and age. Customer is willing to pay for the service and the experience, so go for it.
Right. How do you feel about paid awards and features in magazines?
If they were bringing me customers and there was an ROI, I would be there, and the rest speaks for itself.
So why do you think that everyone wants to be on a magazine? And
See, I'll tell you, there are, as we were talking about different, the thing before, there are different kinds of TGs, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you're a celebrity and, you are looking for a celebrity designer, obviously it's a pyramid, okay?
Yeah.
At the top, there are very few customers who are celebrities, who are looking for a celebrity designer who they can vibe with, okay? Then there's the rest of the pyramid, which is quite big. There is, say, let's take an example, okay? So husband and wife are working in corporate. Say each of them earns, say, 5 to 10 lakhs a month each, okay? Say they go on expensive vacations, the children are in great schools and colleges.
right.
And they are looking for an interior designer. Now, they definitely are not looking for an interior designer who is going to be driving a more expensive car than them,
Yeah.
who's going to be wearing a more expensive watch than them, who's going to be carrying more expensive bags, because then they get scared that the design fee you're telling me, there is something more coming from the side, otherwise how can you afford all this? I myself cannot afford all this.
Right.
Okay, this has literally happened to me. So there was a big family, okay? There were
Okay.
3 brothers. They all gave us the project. I remember
Okay.
going to their house, and when I was parking, or my driver was taking out the car, something like that, they suddenly looked and they said, "Oh my God, I paid you yesterday. Did you buy a new car?"
What?
Yeah. So I said, no, I've had this car for the longest time.
Okay.
So, they actually feel that if you've given such a large sum, that person has immediately squandered it away. Okay.
Oh.
This is just a fear. It's irrational. Okay.
Okay.
But every customer has it, because the problem with our line is that we work with such high quantums of money.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do have bad experiences. They should reduce. But it is a fear at the back of the mind of the customer. So, see, it's very important. We are very aligned with the customer. In no way do I want to create this discomfort. In no way will I be showing myself as a celebrity designer if my TG is not a celebrity. And that's how it goes, okay?
Yeah.
Now, why would a person ever want to look like a celebrity? Maybe they actually have customers like that, yeah? They want to make them feel I'm in the same milieu as you.
Okay.
But our group is one below that. Not to say this, that's bad. I think that's where everyone is. And that's how we connect. People feel, yeah, I can imagine she could be a distant cousin of mine. I understand she would be from a similar background. And that's how it goes.
Got it.
That's the attraction and the click. Everyone has a different one.
Yeah, true. I have to ask you, in so many years of experience and being organized and you filtering and creating this niche, what is the most bizarre client request you have ever received?
Bizarre client requests. See, there are some client requests that are part of our filtering process.
Okay.
One is that the customer, they're trying to get an interior designer, but they want to buy all the materials themselves, which doesn't make sense. Because if you have a job and it literally takes my entire time and my team's entire time to buy materials and put it on your site, then why should I be routing it through you? That means you are a sure shot giving me a 1 year ka project, because every time you'll be on the call with your business.
Yeah.
And here I am with a list of materials to be bought,
Yeah.
and you're not picking my call, and you're not buying the materials on time, and you're going there and getting confused. That doesn't make sense. So I think in the list of bizarre, that is definitely one. If you're
Okay.
coming to a person, please do your research, trust them, and then don't
Leave it.
get into the rest of the things, because you are going to only slow the process. Okay? That is usually one of the big no-nos. The second big no-no for me, or rather bizarre, is that customers look at our videos.
Yeah.
Okay, they will come to our experience center, touch everything like this,
Okay.
okay, and I'll tell you, this is the thing that I just can't stop laughing. Okay, they'll do this,
What?
and you're like, what is the sound test? I don't get it. What have you achieved? Is this MDF and is this wood?
What?
कैसे पता चलने वाला है? I mean, what's the handbook to this? This is very bizarre. And I'll tell you, it has happened to us when we've taken them to a customer's house. The customer saying, क्या लेंगे? Please बैठिए. And they're doing this.
Really?
And you're like, what are you doing, sir? This is very embarrassing at this point.
So what is their reason behind this?
I don't know, they have some secret sound test that I have not understood. Obviously, it's crazy. What is this test? ये क्या है?
Oh God.
Doesn't make any sense. But yes, this has actually happened. And we're like,
Okay.
this doesn't make sense.
Okay, cool. Got it. Cool. What is that one thing you would want to change in this industry, and what's the goal for reNNovate?
See, the goal for reNNovate is, see, we are only Mumbai centric, right? So it's obviously to become a very, very big niche player. To, in fact, we should become the name in home interiors in Mumbai. That is, of course, our goal. For the industry, see, I feel, as I was talking to you in the break, that, you know, in other countries, for a lot of professions, you would actually have a mapping of where is the supply demand requirement, you know, where should a new designer actually go, relocate, or a doctor. This happens a lot for the medical, in fact. They'll say, you know, this county in California doesn't have a urologist or doesn't have a cardiac surgeon. Please relocate there and start your business. This sort of information, data, about 2-3 things, okay, should be collected from the council or the IIID. One, of what are the salaries of everybody. Two, what is actually the revenue generatable by a firm of 10 people, 5 people, 100 people. I think those information is very important, because I remember getting into the field and asking, okay, what is that, you know, top line? They're like, oh, sky is the limit. Sky is not, that's not even an answer. That's an answer saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
Please go find out.
Right.
And I didn't get it. And I think that answer is not acceptable anymore. I think we need to get to map state-wise, which are the good states, which are the urban centers, or wherever things are going well. And that would really help architects to focus marketing and be more specific on which cities. It might even be a tier 2, tier 3 city, but at least we should know what it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's very unfair that you are an architect sitting in Bombay and you have to do marketing for all of India, and then there is just, you know, one town here and one town there that is making bungalows. It's a very unfair waste of money.
So this is the change you would like to
Yeah, this is a needed change.
That was amazing to know your insights about this industry and, of course, about your journey. Let's head to something fun. We're heading to the Whisper Challenge, wherein you have to wear these earphones and loud music is going to play.
Oh Lord.
And I'm going to say some words which is related to the industry, and you have to guess these words.
Okay.
Okay? Your first word. Blueprints.
Blue.
Prints.
Print.
Blueprints. Nice. Coat.
Cost.
Coat.
Coats.
It's a music.
Coats.
Courtyard.
Courtside.
Courtyard. Coat.
Coast.
Coat. Courtyard.
Coast Guard.
No. One more. Courtyard.
Courtside is all I can think of.
Next one. Chandelier. Chandelier. Chandelier.
Chanel.
I wish, no. Chandelier. Chandelier. Next. Accent. Wall.
Antique.
Accent. Wall.
Antique wall.
First one. Accent.
Antique. I said antique.
Yeah. Accent wall.
No.
One more time.
Ah.
Accent wall.
Batik.
Next word. Ottoman.
Ottoman. Finally.
Statement. Statement piece. Statement. Statement piece. She's actually thinking.
I can't even think of a single word.
Last try.
No.
Last try.
Okay.
Statement piece. No? Good.
What were the words?
Oh my god, okay, you get 3 right.
Huh.
The one which you didn't get was chandelier.
Oh God.
Okay. Accent wall.
Oh
The second word was
shit.
correct. Then statement piece.
Oh boy. That was, I never got that. I could not even guess that.
I mean, you got Ottoman. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
Cool. Now, before we head to the spicy rapid fire round, last question to you. What is your thoughts about Pinterest?
You know, Pinterest has been a huge blessing. I'll tell you how. So, we used to have this problem that a customer would actually come in and say, "No, I'm not liking this look. Can you show me something else? Can you show me something that is, what are the different looks?" You know, so it was a very, what I used to call a sari ki dukaan experience, right? That the customer goes in, they actually don't know what they want to buy. So they want to see all the sarees in the dukaan. Okay.
Right.
Now that's a very difficult thing for a designer. Okay. Frankly, it's impossible for us to make that many looks.
Yeah.
And there are so many customers who come and say, "Don't do something you like. I like also many things."
Right.
And they say, "Oh, do something that's new and trending." There are many new and trending things. So see, there's no correct answer to give a customer.
Right.
And for them not to have this reaction. Okay, show me what else is there. You know, that's what we do in a restaurant, right? You look at a menu card, what else is there? What do
Yeah.
you recommend?
Yeah.
So you need that experience, okay? And what we used to do earlier is that we used to have, lookbooks, okay? In that we used to actively keep images of a certain style and we used to send those lookbooks to the customer, or we used to have Google Forms. But in fact, Pinterest came as a huge blessing because we have our own Pinterest page.
Yeah.
Of course, our images are there, but we also have what's called a curated page.
Oh.
So, you know, there's a problem on Instagram and online where there are a lot of things that can never be built. That
Right.
hardware does not exist, or that person has made some magical video where there is something that swirls and disappears. That doesn't exist also, okay?
Yeah.
So what we do is we make a curated page. Page will be curated room-wise, style-wise. And we send the customer there. We actively share this page. We tell them, please forget about your Pinterest. Look at our Pinterest. These are actually done with a certain amount of detailing, and tell us what you like in it, because then what happens, the customer has this experience of, I chose from a large option and I chose this, and those images we don't replicate because it's impossible to replicate,
Right.
or space constraints, budget constraints, whatever. So we sort of guess from those images what it is that they're liking. And surprisingly, there's so many times where there'll be an image and I'm like, oh my God, I need to ask them what it is that they're liking.
Okay.
And it would be something as bizarre as, I don't want the green in this picture.
Okay.
But beyond the green, look at that background, that little piece over there, that beige. That's the exact color I want. And you're like, the picture is horrible, okay, whatever. And you'd be like, oh, is that what they like? Okay, fine. That we can do. But thank God they did not want the first picture. I woke up in the morning, I'm like, yuck, ye kisne bheja? Okay. So we find that the curated printed page, of course, there is no yuck experience because they're choosing from things we already feel are buildable, aesthetic, trendy. And it's super organized because it goes in the flow of our quotation also. So a customer will say, okay, foyer area, yeah, okay, these are the looks, I like that. So we also have our own designer instinct where we have our aspirations, right? That we want to create, a space that is not exactly like our previous project.
Right.
So we would also add a little bit of X factor and secret sauce into it. So yeah, that Pinterest page really helps that first step, which is a human nature. I want to see many things, then I want to choose. You don't tell me the one picture that I have to choose. Then I'm very unhappy. So it removes the unhappiness from the equation. It's actually a blessing. I thank Pinterest for being free. Yeah, be free.
So yes to Pinterest.
Definitely. Definitely. Of course, it's not like we do control that process, obviously, but we are finding it very useful. I think it's a great communication tool. It's a great organizing tool for the customer. They're able to see pictures and say, "Ye mujhe nahi acha lag raha. I don't like this at all. This has very deep and dark tones." Or they would be like, "I don't like this at all. I felt I'll do luxurious, but this is looking like a hotel. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm changing my requirement." Or there's like, I like this hotel part, but not so much, maybe like this. So they would lean a little bit towards contemporary. So I like the fact that they're able to see the different styles, and I am not having to open an education institute about it.
While speaking to you, I think knowing your journey and your firm and all, I think your solutions are very quick on this point. I think if a customer or client comes to you, you get the end-to-end solution.
Yeah, so we are turnkey. We don't only do design, the whole thing. I'm glad you brought that up. It is a full solution, and we are very customer centric. You'll see, even though I have so many years of experience, we keep ourselves very humble, very grounded. That's the same for the team, because we are delivering a product, and the product is very expensive, and it's not only about us, it is between the customer and us. And it's very important that we feel the joy of the baby and they also feel the equal or more joy, so that from there you get more references. And like I said, my journey is not from Bombay, and to be in Bombay, this is exactly what I need, that the customer delight is there. And you see that delight in our followers, in our reviews, and in the happiness that we are spreading and the referrals we are getting.
Amazing. And with that, I really hope you get more and more projects.
I always wish that.
Cool. Are you ready for the quirky rapid fire round?
Okay.
Cool. Your first questions. If your design could talk, what would they say about you?
Customer centricity. Yeah, they would say I'm very customer centric.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very with new age things. We move with the times. Maybe that's what it'll say.
Nice. Yeah. If you could ban one architectural trend forever, what would it be and why?
Forever?
Yeah.
No, yeah, that should not happen. I think all trends should be there. The fun is in the diversity. I'll tell you, no one wants to eat pav bhaji every day. You want to have different cuisines. That's how we are. I think that's how those trends are there, and they're there to stay. And I think it's nice. We also get to work in different elements, and customers like to have different elements. No, I think the ugly is also important and the beautiful is also important. They are important together.
True. What's the biggest oops moment you have ever had on your project site?
Okay, I'm sure this is every architect's true confession. There are oops moments every single minute, every single day.
Yeah.
Like I'd be talking to you, and my messages would have many oopses from many different people,
Okay.
and it's for different reasons. It could be that in transportation, a glass completely broke and tomorrow is the handover, or
Oh God.
it could be such random things like, there was a very important piece of furniture, it's getting imported, it's scratched or it
Oh,
is ruined. There are oopses everywhere, every day.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what makes our lives exciting and stressful.
You have 30 seconds to grab whatever you can from your office. What would you grab and why?
Dude, the keys, I've paid for that thing.
Oh my God. That's actually a smart answer.
I've paid for it, it's my life's earnings.
Good. If your designs were an ice cream flavor, which one would it be?
I like that. No, I think it would be something sweet and spicy because
Ooh.
we don't make everything just plain vanilla. It's not all safe and sweet. It's definitely something interesting. There will be one pop of color, there'll be one amazing element. It's going to be there. I think I
Okay.
don't feel happy with just plain vanilla. It's boring.
Who is more difficult to work with? Indecisive clients or overambitious contractors who think they are architects?
We have our own team. I don't have to deal with any
Yeah.
over ambitious contractors. But I'll tell you, over time, the team that I've retained are in fact ambitious guys.
Okay.
Because they're interested in doing more work.
Hmm.
They're not interested in just sitting there and wasting time and having free money. And when they see a difficult project or they see a difficult design, they're actually excited by it. I actually like those people.
Okay.
And I think my team would, in fact, consist of those people.
Hmm.
They're guys who want to do the amount of work that we are actually getting. Like I said, we do a lot of projects a year. And they want to do more the next year, and they've been there from the beginning.
Oh, nice.
I think the lazy ones are out. The ones who did not move with our company policy of being customer friendly or being clean and all the other important things that are around a good construction site. In fact, they are gone. So our process is to have good, smart, ambitious, because it's a sign of being smart, right? If you
Right.
are very ambitious. I think I respect that. It gives me a good sense of that this person will grow and they will have the want to, move with the times.
Got it.
Yeah, I like that. Indecisive customers, Pinterest.
Yeah. A secret that no one knows about you.
What could be that secret? Yeah, no, there's no secret at all. There's no secret. Marketing is not a secret. You have to
Okay.
say everything. There is no secret
No
at
secret.
all. No.
Cool. Your last question would be, what would be your advice to people or to the young generation who are aspiring to become interior designers or architects?
Join a good firm that has a lot of projects where you get to work with the lead designer, where in fact you're working on the project and not a small bathroom or a small wall. Try to stay in that firm for at least 2 to 3 years because no one can learn anything in 1 year. And initially, in your initial years, don't think about the money.
Okay.
Okay, I think the experience is very important because what you're taught in college is just like alphabet A. Okay, and you have a lot more to learn. And be open minded because our landscape is changing very fast with technology, maybe even faster with AI. And customers are changing because of all these other external factors. So be on your feet, be agile, be open. These are the important things, and be sincere and hardworking because that is your gateway to being able to learn. Because a lot of times we do get people who are not so focused on the line and also not wanting to put in the work for it.
Yeah.
And even though our work timings are super nice, still, there is a sincerity that is required. And only that can help you cover up the knowledge gap. That's really required. I think first 10 years, be super sincere, hardworking, open-minded. Yeah, very important.
Amazing. And with that, you win a lovely hamper.
Ahi, thank you. Unexpected and beautiful.
And to wrap up this podcast, my last question to you would be, how did you find the store and how was your experience on KYAD?
I'm really glad you asked that, because when I walked in here, I was like, you're not asking that enough. In fact, you should be having pop-ups and segues into how you're applying your tiles. I liked it. I had come to this area a lot for the showrooms around, and somehow I have missed this, and I like the products here. I found them very interesting, and you know how I am, very focused. I know which segment of your showroom I am going to be, pitching to my customers. So I will be doing that. And yeah, I curiously and genuinely, look at materials, because I keep thinking, who will be the person who would be interested in it, and I make a mental note of it, and then we pitch it accordingly. And that's important, because everyone wants different products at different points of time. So yeah, I like going to showrooms also.
Oh, okay.
And that's why we have our own showroom.
And your experience on KYAD?
I was really happy you reached out, because it actually made me also go through the KYAD channel. And I also knew a lot of people from before.
Oh, nice.
And it was interesting. I didn't know some of the stories and some of the questions that you asked. So you get to know people even better. I'm glad, you're doing that. I'm glad you're doing that. It's good.
Thank you so much for being on this show.
Most welcome.
And that's a wrap.